welcome back to Spill the Tea Lou. We are having our first competitive match watch-along of the 26-27 season, the Community Shield between Arsenal and Manchester City. We've just heard some ladies singing, they're all shaking hands, everybody's ready to go, timer's ready. I do apologise for my as per usual lateness. I do not try extra hard when it's a watch-along to be on time. Unfortunately, I forgot that everything was purple because it was the Premier League and I needed to change it because this is not the Premier League, this is the Community Shield. And so I just picked a colour and went with it. This is a channel colour, so we've just got it going on. But we're here, we're ready. I'm looking at the lineups, everything's on the screen. The teacups are here. Hello and welcome to you guys. How are we feeling? Are we excited? Are we excited? How are rivals feeling? Because obviously I'm sure Arsenal fans and City fans are delighted you've got a competitive football match. How are rivals feeling? I have to say, even though it's not my team, I'm genuinely actually very excited because it's an actual competitive match. It makes me feel like we're really, really close to the start of the season. It's making me feel better. But how are you guys all feeling? Luke says, nice colours. Thanks, Luke. To be fair, these are the channel colours. See this kind of maroon colour? That is the colour that's on the logo. And see the background that I have? That's the colour from the background. It's like a maroony sort of a wine colour. So it's actually the channel colour, although it might appear to be representing Arsenal in this specific scenario. It's not. Sorry. But it's actually just the channel colours. What I'm trying to do is get everything up on my phone so that if we need the stats or anything, they're easy gosh, so I'll have them in front of me. Let me see. Okay, I'm ready. Shem says, good morning and afternoon to everybody. Daz popped on to drop a like, but will not be here for the first half with us. Shem has got some visitors. Tony is here saying Man City will win today. I wonder if Bruno scores, will he kiss the badge? Mama Flossie says that would make her angry. He better not. That would really add insult to injury. I have to say I'd be gobsmacked. I would be gobsmacked if he did that. I just can't see that. I actually don't know. I can't find the words to express how astounded I would be if he did that. I just don't see it. You would like to think it would be crazy. Tony reckons he might, with a little giggle to himself. JP in the chat, hello to JP, welcome to the watch along. Shem says, is Savinho in the team? Let us check, is Savinho on the bench? Guys, when I start, I'll start my clock. I'm just watching their huddles. Now, I'm watching this on like a legitimate TV channel, so I shouldn't be too far behind anybody. Obviously, it's streaming through the computer, so it does cause a little delay. I will double check Savinho now because it looks like we are literally about to kick off. And then I'll check if he's on the bench because I don't want to miss starting the timer. We're in the semi-circles here, in the middle circle. Semenyo's doing some last-minute stretching there, giving his kickabout. Okay, we have started, guys. We've kicked off. So, timer is where I'm at. Please do your best. Do not put spoilers in the chat for me. I know I'm probably going to be a little bit behind. I shouldn't be that far behind because I'm literally watching it on TV. It's just streaming of a TV channel. Bloody hell, it's 1-0! It's 1-0, guys, to Arsenal. Calafiori has scored! Woohoo! Calafiori, 1-0! 25 seconds, I think my commentators just said. Well, Arsenal are ready for the season, guys. Holy majoli. I wasn't prepared at all. I was about to check if Savinho was on the bench. And then I was like, let me just check. There's a bit of an attack here. Bloody hell. Calafiori actually, Calafiori is the one who sends it out to the left in the first place. And then was that Madueke heads it down. Whoever number 4 is. Then in the middle. And then back to Calafiori. So it actually, the whole thing started with Calafiori and then finished with Calafiori. That was great from Miles Lewis-Skelly. The final pass through to Calafiori. Let me just update my score, guys. I wasn't expecting to have to do this so early. Holy moly, we're in for goals, guys. Football's back. The thing is, I hate both of these teams, so I don't care. I don't really care who wins or loses because I hate the two of them, which actually makes me kind of neutral. So I just want goals. Goals. Maybe the fact that I was last minute Annie and I made it red. It's, I picked the channel colours, but maybe this was a prophecy, guys. Guess is going to get some tea. She thinks she's going to need it. Flossie says that caught her totally off guard. Me too. I don't know if you could tell because I hid it really well. I hid my shock entirely. Holy moly, that was fast. I think it might have shocked City. It certainly shocked Donnarumma. Yeah, Flossie agrees with me. When you dislike both teams, you actually end up, I think, a little bit more neutral. Because all I want is entertainment. Right, let me see. JP says, I hope both teams lose. Sorry. Yes. No Savinho. Apologies, Shem. We got slightly distracted with that. No Savinho on the bench. He's not in the squad. I'm so glad we cleared that up. Without any drama. Nothing crazy. Give me just a second. In other news, Boffman's out fishing and has informed me that he's caught fish. So, it's not just Arsenal that are scoring today. Boffman's scoring with the fish. Delighted with himself, so he is. There's Elliot Anderson. He actually just looks really irritating. Elliot Anderson. I think it's just, I've always thought, and I've said from even when we were linked to him, I thought he was overpriced and overrated. But now that I see him in a City shirt, not only do I think he's overpriced and overrated, I think he's highly irritating. So he's completed the trifecta of playing for City. It's so odd seeing Bruno G in an Arsenal jersey. Like, it's really strange. Some players, when they move clubs, like seeing Isak in a Liverpool jersey, I'll be honest, I thought it kind of suited him. Seeing Bruno G in an Arsenal jersey, it just looks really weird. It's actually going to take some getting used to. I felt a bit like this when Man United got Ment from Chelsea. It took me a long time to get used to him in a United jersey. In my head, if you say Mason Mount, I think of him in a Chelsea jersey before a United jersey. So I kind of feel like that with Bruno G. It's a little odd, actually. I'm getting used to it. Oh no! Shem says, spoiler alert! Costa's coffee are not very nice. Do you know my coffee of choice? It's not real coffee, so any coffee connoisseurs are not going to agree with this. But, see the little latte sachets out of Lidl? They're so good. They're so yummy. And they don't cost you £10 per cup. Huge says, there must be a way for both teams to lose. There must be. I don't know. Arsenal are having none of us. Can I just say, I said last season, go back as far as when I was on the football terrace. That's how old it was. Arsenal are coming again here. Donnarumma's had to catch it. Calafiori involved in that build-up as well. Donnarumma's going to have to earn his money today, boys and girls. But as far back as when I was on the football terrace, so really at the start of last season, I was saying Calafiori at Arsenal the whole way through the season here. Even in my match reactions, I was saying Calafiori was really, really good for Arsenal. And there he is. He scored the opening goal of the competitive season. Tony says Costa is awful. We're never getting a Costa sponsorship, guys. That's it. They're in the bin. Tony and JP are saying Nero is much better. Nero's not that common here. You can get them, but they'd be very few and far between. It'd be very rare to get a Nero here. You've got a lot of Bewleys. You've got Bewleys, Costa, Starbucks is all over the place here. But you've got a lot of Bewleys cafes. Right, let me scroll up. Luke's delighted. Luke's happy. The rest of us are moaning and complaining. Lovely Luke, deep in enemy territory. Celebrating. There's Martin Odegaard flying forward. Madueke was not prepared for that. Who was that over on the left who was calling for the ball? My eyeballs are so bad. I don't know who it was. Oh, it's Zolas. I was like, why don't I recognise that wee man? It's Zolas. Okay, I understand now. Doku was trying to come forward, got as far as the box and went, no thank you, and turned around. The ball's been turned back over. Odegaard looks sprightly. There's Calafiori. Oh dear. Oh dear. There's out to Zolas. Arsenal are rampant, lads. City don't know what to do. They're panicking. They're panicking in defence. Elliot Anderson's over there at right back. Doku ran into the box and literally stopped and turned around. You could see the thought of like, oh no, there's too many players, and he turned around. Oh dear. Now I'm sure it'll settle in a few minutes. It's only the first few minutes, right? City look a little shell-shocked. They look a little shell-shocked, guys. Oh dear. Oh dear. I genuinely just absolutely love the mayhem. There's something wrong with me. I love this. I love it when my team's not involved. I did not enjoy the mayhem when Man United were playing at all. That was dreadful. But see, when any other team plays, I honestly don't care who. I just love mayhem. It's excellent. Oh dear. Right, it's going to calm down. It will calm down. City will breathe. They'll take a little moment. But Arsenal, out of the traps. There's Ben White with a jumping header to put it out of play on the halfway line. Goodness me. Huge says, a big fight breaks out. 8 players get red cards and multi-game bans, and the game is abandoned. That's the way. Oh, we can dream. We can dream. Random says, I believe Arsenal have won every charity shield against City. Who did City play? Did they win it in their treble season? I don't know. You might be 100% correct. I tried to do some research on it, like the correlation between winning the charity shield and winning the league, or the second runner-up winning the league, and I had it on a tab all ready to go, and then I closed the tab and I don't remember. The correlation isn't high, so you could be totally correct there. I just don't remember. JP says, Madueke is playing like me after a few bevies. Worldy. I'm saying it here and I'm saying it now. Anybody who didn't watch the World Cup with us, because I know some people won't have been interested, some people hadn't found Teacup Castle throughout the World Cup, I said over and over and over, Madueke had a good World Cup. I know some people didn't agree with me and felt he was a bit wasteful. Huge, I'm looking at you. But I felt he was proactive, he was getting down the line, he was getting crosses in. It was the best I'd seen him, much better than I'd seen him for Arsenal last season. If he brings that World Cup form into this season and builds on it with more end product, I think that's a big deal for Arsenal. Now, we will see, but I think it's certainly possible. Now, the ball has slowed down a little bit. Man City have decided to keep a hold of possession instead of just giving it away by the minutes. And they're going to do their best to try and build up some play here. They're struggling though because Arsenal are pressing them. Look, he's away. He's away, so he is. He's chasing them down the pitch. What do we think as well, guys? Is Gyökeres injured? I don't know if Gyökeres is injured. Kai Havertz has started the match. What are our thoughts on that? Is it a sign? Does it mean anything? Or is Gyökeres injured? Hold on till I get it up on my phone. I've closed the window. Roz, we're not watching the Spurs pre-season game. I can hear the devastation through the message. I can hear your devastation, Roz. Yes, guess. Teacup Castle magically appears if you seek a relaxing place to hang out while watching football, until I start screaming in your eardrums because there's a goal 25 seconds into the match. And then it's not relaxing anymore. That, guys, if anybody ever wonders, Madueke with a cross, he's won a corner. Madueke down the line, round his man, got the cross in and forced a corner from Man City. Watch this space, guys. Sometimes I say things and then they happen. Sometimes I say things and the opposite happens, but 50-50 and all that. Random says he was okay, but he doesn't hold a candle to Palmer. I think Palmer's form last season was shocking, and the season before. He might be back at it this season. He seems to be working well under Alonso in the pre-season, but last season I don't think he was up to much at all. Nothing comes of the corner, but it's only fallen as far as Odegaard, and it's back to Madueke. Elliot Anderson's at left back now. Madueke's taking it round him. He's giving it to number 4 is Ben White, yeah? It's gone out for another corner. Who scored for Arsenal? It was Calafiori, Shem. Calafiori started the movement. It went through about 10 other players, and then Calafiori put it in the back of the net. Right, what was I looking up? Where's this match? Community Shield. I want to know lineups, Arsenal, Saka. Gyökeres is on the bench, so he's not injured. And Havertz has started ahead of him. Interesting. Can I just say, I've just seen from the lineup, apparently Calafiori is playing at left back for Arsenal. I thought he was playing in their midfield. Because that's where I've seen him. Supposedly Calafiori is playing at left back today. Now maybe this graphic is wrong. Oh, Gabriel was wrestling with Khushinov. Now, they're going mad. They're asking for pulling the other direction. I'll be honest, it looked like 6 of one, half a dozen off the other. Arteta was going mad saying about the pulling. Is it being looked at? I'll be honest, it looked like a bit of both to me. I certainly didn't think it was one more so than the other. We don't want penalties, we want real goals. Show me the goals. Tony wants to see Bruno score because you're just curious if he's going to kiss the badge. That's all you want to know, Tony. I don't think he will. I would be astounded. It would be really stupid. Tony says, is it just me or does Arsenal have more confidence this season? Well, to be fair, we've only seen 14 minutes of them. So I don't know is the answer to that. Theoretically, now that kind of the duck is off their back and they've won one, you would think potentially that will take pressure off them. Potentially. However, the other side of that is there's now a different pressure to maintain and retain because everything bar winning the league now is a backward step. They've won the league. If they don't win it again, then they've fallen off. Do you know? So there's a different pressure on them now to maintain and retain. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'll need to see more than this from them. But they've started the match well. City have just taken the ball and slowed it right down. Arsenal were playing with tempo. They were attacking. They were moving forward. It was fast paced. It was exciting. City panicked, grabbed a hold of the ball, and now they're just pass, slow the tempo, make it boring. Right, ball forward, 2 forward, it's out of play. Tony says they're never this comfortable playing City. I think part of that is I think a lot of teams, rightly or wrongly, are going to be more comfortable playing City when they see Maresca on the sideline instead of Pep. Whether that's right or wrong, fair or unfair, I think most teams this season are going to feel more comfortable playing Manchester City. At least to begin with, I think. But that's theoretical. Huge says, how is Kovacic outrunning Odegaard? Odegaard started the match well, to be fair to him. He started the game quite sprightly. I know City are doing what they need to do, and it's important to regain some control and composure in the match, right? I understand that. But the game was really exciting and enjoyable to watch, and now they've just slowed it right down. Oh, who was that got in the way? The referee got in the way of one of the Arsenal players and he just shoved him out of the way. I don't know who it was. Huge says Haaland already looks unhappy. That's because he's had to take time out of his busy Instagram schedule to play football. They've interrupted his social media party. He's been having a grand old time on the social media since the World Cup. So I'm sure it's disrupted his routine to have to come and play football. As a City player, I strongly dislike him. As a human being, I find him quite funny. He is quite funny, like. I can't wait till he leaves City so I can actually just like him. Semenyo has got it. Oh, there is Calafiori at left back. He is. I genuinely thought he was in the midfield because he was everywhere for the first 10 minutes. I did not realise he was playing at left back. Tony says, if Haaland doesn't get the better of Gabriel, something is definitely up, as he always does. To be fair, his teammates have to get the ball far enough for him to get the better of anyone. So the ball has to get that far for him to get the better of him, if that makes sense. Huge says, surely he leaves next summer. I reckon so. Who did I ask about that? Did I ask Mr. DJ Milkshake about that in one of the summer streams? I think he goes next summer. I think this is his last season at City, personally. Really, I do. Hello to Gregory. Random says, Lou, where do you stand on the Community Shield being considered a trophy or not? I think it's a trophy. I know a lot of people don't, or I don't consider it a major trophy. It's a trophy though. The Carabao Cup's a trophy. Like, I think it's a trophy. Regardless of who wins it, who doesn't win it, regardless of any team, a trophy's a trophy. It's a one-off competitive match that you must win to get it. It's a trophy. Also, look at these lineups. I'm not being funny. They're not exactly their second team. It's not like their B-side. Oh, shot! Saved! I was Foden. I was trying to see who took the shot. It was Phil Foden took the shot from quite some distance. It was a decent shot. Raya has to get to it, and he gets down really well because it was one of those curly shots that was going to curl right inside the post. David Raya did really well to get to it. But yeah, so for me, I think it's a trophy. I know some people don't, and that's fine. But for me, I do. But I think that's kind of the way I am. It's very much like, if there's something to be positive about, I'll be positive. If there's something to be negative about, I'll be negative. If there's something up for grabs to be won, and you've won it fair and square, competitively, it's a trophy. Do you know what I mean? It's easy. I think it's easy to say, oh, it's not a real trophy, or it's not a big deal, and I think part of it is because it is a one-off game. Like, there's no knockout rounds, there's no league, it's literally one game. I think that's probably why some people maybe feel there's not as much merit, because you don't really have to jump through hoops. You're kind of going off what you did last season, and what you do this season might be very different. So I understand why some people might feel it's not even the same as other cups, because it's not as if there's knockouts, it's literally just there's one round. But a trophy's a trophy. I mean, if Man United won it, it'd be a bloody well trophy, so you know what I mean? Hughes didn't recognise Raya for a minute. Where do you guys stand on that? Because I have seen a lot of talk about that actually on the social media. The last few days really. I've seen people saying it is, it's not, it is, it's not. If Man United won, I'd be counting it. So I'm going to count it for everybody else. Do you know what I mean? But I understand. Arsenal are going forward again here, by the way. It's with Ben White, Madueke. That's Lewis Skelly, I think. I'm just looking at the original build-up. Bruno made a good run there, but he hesitated a little bit before he cut it back in. They could have scored on the first one before it came back out. He looked a little nervous, I think. Gabriel puts it out for a corner for City. But yeah, where do you guys stand? Do you think it's a trophy, not a trophy? Because I understand the thinking when it's just literally one match. And because it is right at the end of pre-season before everything else kicks off. I can get why psychologically, for people it might not feel like a trophy. For me, I think it is, but I'm not like hardline about it, you know? Elliot Anderson with the corner from Manchester City. Grabbed out of the air by David Raya. Huge says we have a record number of community shields. 21. Yellow card for Phil Foden. Who did he clatter? That's a clear yellow. Zollis was away. They could have counter-attacked. Phil Foden drags him to the ground. I mean, that is a yellow. Phil Foden was like, what are you talking about? I was like, that's a yellow. That's a yellow in every match. What is wrong with him? Oh, that was definitely a yellow. Luke says it's a trophy, but not a major trophy. Yeah, that's where I would stand with it. Guest said she doesn't really count it as much. Yeah, but I think that is what people are saying, like, kind of major trophy, minor trophy. Like, most people tend to count the FA Cup more than the Carabao Cup. People tend to count the Premier League more than the FA Cup. You know, so I do think there's like a scale, I suppose. So I count it, but just not as a major. I count it as a minor. I would put it under the Carabao Cup, for example. I'd still take it, though. And no one's taking our 21 away from us. I'll fight them. Right, we're 24 minutes in now, guys. It's still 1-0 to Arsenal, as you can see on my scoreboard. But every time Arsenal attack, they look dangerous. Bruno looked a little hesitant with that cutback, or it could be 2-0 right now to Arsenal. City are trying to grab the ball and hold possession and slow the tempo. But they don't actually feel dangerous. They don't feel like they're doing anything. They look a little shocked. Huge says, I don't count it because most top teams don't go full strength. Now, as I said, if these were their B-side lineups, I'd be like, no, it doesn't really mean anything. It's like, it's basically a glorified friendly. But these are basically their two starting teams. These are their two more or less full strength teams. So whoever wins this today has won it. Do you know what I mean? If it was one or two B-sides, and it looked like friendly lineups, I'd be like, all right, fairs. So that would probably depend. I agree on who's playing. I would go with that. Random says major the league and Europe, minor any other competitions with multiple teams, extra minor any bonus game you get for winning one of the above. Yeah. I think that's fair. I have to say that's probably the most important thing for me is I look at these lineups. These are full strength lineups. If they were kind of not, then I would probably say it's more of a friendly, yeah. So I do think that impacts it. It's a fair point. I think it's a nice little boost at the start of the season. So as it stands, a lot of people consider Arsenal to be the favourites for the season. If they come in and beat City in their first technically competitive match against a strong side, it's a nice little boost to start off the season with, I think. I wouldn't read into it more than that, though. Ball in. Two to Arsenal. Kai Havertz. Ball in from Odegaard. Zolis heads it down. Havertz puts it in the back of the net. 2-0. Arsenal. I'll tell you what. I would suggest by the end of this match, the City fans are not going to count it. Is what I would suggest is potentially going to happen. Huge says thrashing incoming. Well, considering they could have had another in the meantime. So there's Odegaard over to Zolis, heads it into Havertz, and to be fair, it wasn't easy. Havertz did well to get it in as well. He heads it in underneath Donnarumma. Donnarumma looks dreadful. Like, it bounced in off him. It bounced underneath him. It bounced on the back of his head. JP's having a little giggle. Rawls says, as a United fan, who do you hope loses this more? Before the start of the match, I genuinely didn't care at all. As the match has been played, City. And the reason for that is because Arsenal are actually playing fast attacking football. City are taking the ball, trying to hold possession and make it boring. Which might be effective for them, except it's not. But since I hate both of them, I would have to go for the team that's giving me the most entertainment value. So far, 29 minutes in, the team that have given me the most entertainment value, not just through goals, has been Arsenal. Therefore, Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's not as if I'm delighted for either of them to win, but at this moment in time, so far in this match, Arsenal are playing football. They're attacking, they're closing down, they're exciting to watch. And City are not. So, what I said at the start, before any goals went in, was I want to be entertained. Arsenal are entertaining me. Luca's having a little sing-song. Delighted with life. Hassan, hello. Welcome to the chat, Hassan, who says, hit the like button. Correct and right, Hassan. I haven't remembered to remind anybody so far. So thank you very much to Hassan for reminding me to remind you guys. Much appreciated. Let me see. Random says Arsenal for the Bants. Oh, Luca's having a good old sing-song in there. Huge says, looks like Arsenal are pissed off they won the league and City look like they couldn't care less. Huh? Like City couldn't care less about the match? I don't think that's the case. I think that's letting City off lightly. Oh, well, they're playing this bad because they don't care. I think that is letting them off a little lightly. I think they're losing because they didn't expect Arsenal to score that early. And then Arsenal were all over them like a rash. They panicked a little bit. And Arsenal have just been more effective. I think that's an easy out, saying they just don't care. Sometimes you do see it. On a football pitch, you see a team that just doesn't care. I don't think that's the case here. I just think City haven't been as good, personally. Unless neither team says random. Flossie says City sent a load of their tickets back because they couldn't sell them. Is that to do with location and stuff though? I saw a thing last season, and given the cost of living at the minute, I'm not going to hammer anybody for stuff like that. I know there was a thing last season. Where is the Community Shield played? I don't know what stadium this is in. I should have checked that, but I don't. Is it a bit of travel for City fans? Because I know last season there was a lot of tickets not sold for Wembley, I think it was. And it was just the cost. People couldn't afford the cost of the travel and the trip and the day off if you work today, or because not everybody works Monday to Friday, and you know, all of the different things. So it may be that City fans don't care about the Community Shield. It's not a big enough trophy for them. It's too minor. But I don't know where it is, so I don't know what the travelling and stuff would cost. Do you know what I mean? City look like they don't have the hunger. Pep's team always had hunger, and they look like they lack it, and hopefully it continues, says Huge. They don't look sharp. They don't look sharp. Arsenal look like sharp at it. City don't look sharp. They've sent the ball in there, but nothing's come of it. Cardiff. Like, that's a bit of a track. Do you know what I mean? Now, it might not be that. It might just be the fact that the fans don't consider this a major trophy and they couldn't be bothered. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. But for me, I suppose just things are expensive these days. Things are really expensive. A pint of milk will set you back half a kidney. So I do understand that side of it as well, particularly if it's in bloody Cardiff. Do you know? Like, I'd love to be going to a Man United match, but it's expensive. So I kind of understand it as well. Like, City have had more possession. They've just not been very effective with the possession. Exactly, Huge. Even in possession, City would have had the ball in the final third, but now they're just passing it around the back for the most part. And that's what I was saying before Arsenal's second goal. City got possession, and then they just held it, passed side to side to side to side to side. What I will say, and I'm trying not to be biased, really good ball through. Was it Gabriel? I think it was Gabriel. Defended it really well. Was that Haaland's first touch in the game? I think it might have been. Yes, Huge. Hassan says, to be fair, you're more likely to find Arsenal fans compared to City fans in Wales or most places on earth. Well, here, yeah, you would definitely have more Arsenal fans than City fans in Ireland. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's probably fair too. So, yes, in terms of people who didn't have to travel, but local fans, yeah, that's true. Arsenal have not fielded as strong as a team as City either. Feel like more starters on the field for City, says Tony. I don't think I agree with that. I think this is a starting lineup for Arsenal. Madueke's got it. Donnarumma's actually made a save. Raya's obviously a starter. Ben White is going to be a starter for them. Now, maybe I'm wrong. But I would have thought this is more or less a starting lineup. Obviously, they don't have Saliba, so there's just not much they can do about that. But then moving forward, Madueke maybe, Havertz, Gyökeres maybe, but overall that's a pretty strong. I think that looks like more or less the starting 11 for Arsenal. Now this is the starting 11 for City, so like I think they're both strong, to be fair. Random says Haaland can have 5 touches and a hat-trick. This is true, he can. Arsenal are just going straight through the midfield. Zolas has got it. He's laid it off for Calafiori. He's left Calafiori too much to do. Arsenal are looking for a penalty. Yellow given to Calafiori for diving. I want to see a replay because I don't think that was a dive. Let me see. Oh, it was. It was. Well done, referee. I did not think that was a dive. The replay, it was. Kushnov doesn't touch him. So yellow card Calafiori for simulation. I thought the ref had got that wrong. He had not. The ref was correct. The ref doesn't need these. He did all good by himself. That's why sometimes, guys, you will see me pause when I'm reacting to something, because sometimes real time I don't catch it. I don't know, sometimes my brain works a little slower and I need to see the replay. So my initial reaction was I wasn't sure there, but when you see the replay, I think that was correct. It was simulation. Nico O'Reilly, I haven't really seen him in the game at all. Like, at all. It's with Anderson. 14 touches and a hat-trick, says Random. Flossie says shocking, yeah. Well, to be fair, we saw a couple of them given out last season. Not loads, but a couple of yellows for simulation. So I think obviously that's going to be, because you know every season they have things they want to address. They make a list of things they want to focus on in the upcoming season, the referees. So obviously one of the things we're going to see is more yellows for simulation. Doku's got it. Haaland, saved by Raya, rebounded, but Calafiori's got it, and out to Zolas. Hassan says, I think there's contact based on the replay, not a yellow. I've seen one replay, so I've only seen one replay. On the one replay I saw, it did look like simulation to me, personally. But at half time, they'll show it again, so that I'll have a proper look at it. Over the bar, by the way, from City. I think Ben White got in the way of it. But that was a good save from Raya in the first instance. Then it came back out. Miles Lewis-Skelly does enough to put Nico O'Reilly off. Goes to Calafiori. It cycles around. But we've got a corner now for Manchester City. Elliot Anderson's going to take it. Headed away. It's with Kushnov. Kovacic takes a shot, not much on it. It was going wide anyway. Raya's got it. There wasn't a lot. I actually feel like he scuffed a little when he went to take that shot there. Accidentally, obviously. Do keep nattering to me though, guys, because there's a couple of things that we're all seeing a little bit differently in this, and I like that. Because you know when you watch it yourself, it's a little insular. And so you form your own opinion, and that's the opinion. So I actually like kind of when we play devil's advocate with each other. Ball forward from Raya. Havertz takes it, sends it to Odegaard, who sends it to Mosquera, who cuts in, shoots straight at Donnarumma. Havertz is not happy. He wanted the ball back. Donnarumma has launched it forward to Nico O'Reilly. Two 2-0 though to Arsenal. They've definitely been the better team. Definitely. City have been a little more attacking now since the second goal. They've had a few more chances. They've had actually some shots on target. Raya's had to actually make some saves. They've definitely been better. Oh, Jack Grealish is warming up. Semenyo struggled to get into the game. Calafiori has him down pat. Because I personally, in a general sense, think Semenyo's better than Doku. Just my opinion. But in this match, Semenyo's just been absent. He's really struggled to get anywhere. Because Calafiori's doing a really good job back there. Madueke trying to go forward again. Ben White offers him the overlap, puts the ball in. Calafiori just couldn't get it. He couldn't get over it enough. It was real high. That was good from Ben White. Bruno's not been in the game a lot. Bruno G has not been in the game a lot. Calafiori seems to be playing at left back and midfield at the same time at the moment. Do you think we could get him instead of Miles Lewis-Skelly? Solis is really like hitting the ground running. He was one of the ones that looked good on paper, and now he looks good on the pitch. Oh, well done. That was good defending my Mosquera. Mosquera v Doku. Mosquera really gets the better of him. Random says, I really don't rate Doku. I would have sold him years ago. Yeah, he feels a good player. A decent player. Do you know when I say decent? People sometimes take it as like an insult. There's like terrible, poor, okay, decent, very good, brilliant. Do you know what I mean? He's in the middle. He's decent. But Man City normally are a couple of levels above decent. So yeah, I agree with you. It's unusual. But we read the rumours right at the start that Maresca wants to try and reintegrate Grealish. It would be interesting to see Grealish subbed on for Doku. Might Grealish work at City under a different manager? That would be interesting. I'd have to hate him then. That'd be upsetting. Random says he has really quick feet but runs into blind alleyways too often for me. I mean, he's just kicked the ball off Odegaard there. He was running forward and he's literally just kicked the ball off Odegaard, and now Arsenal have the possession back, and it's with Mosquera again. It's with Odegaard. Havertz, who was very deep there. Zolis back to Havertz, who sends it in. Donnarumma. Oh! That had to be saved by Gvardiol. Donnarumma come out to punch it away, and you just saw it. You just saw it open up. Was it Gvardiol that had to kick it away there? Because Donnarumma was not in his net. He was on the ground. It could be more than 2-0 here, lads. Flossie says, it would be good to see it work. I feel sorry for Calvin Phillips. He has just fallen off a cliff after signing for them. All right, lads, we are at half time. Let me get to the timer. Okay. Hello? Okay. What do we reckon, boys and girls? What do we reckon so far? I think definitely Arsenal have been drastically the better team. They certainly look fresh and ready for the season. City, I think, looked a little shell-shocked. And I do think, as Hughes says, not necessarily that they don't want to win, but that they are lacking a little bit of oomph. Kind of what United were like yesterday against AC Milan. Capable of so much more. Just lacking desire. I don't know what's the right way to put it. I think they want to win the match because I don't think you ever want to lose a match. So I'm not going to give them an excuse of they don't care. But I do feel like they're not putting their best foot forward, are they? They're cluttered. They're not like... There's no intensity. There's no energy. I feel like they're lacking energy. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you're right. City look like they're playing a friendly. Arsenal look like they're playing a competitive game. That's kind of what it feels like. Daz is in the house. Hello to Daz and welcome. Tony says, City look out of sorts, but maybe it was the quick goal. I think that's what it was, I think that totally just wiped them. Because watch it, right? So the goal goes in. And City really just look like shocked. They look genuinely shocked. And for the next few minutes after the goal, Arsenal continued attacking. City looked like they couldn't keep a hold of the ball. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't get it forward. They looked really like shook up. And then eventually, maybe 5 minutes later, maybe 10 minutes later, they start to get a hold of the ball, City. They start to slow the tempo of the game. They start to pass. But as Hughes said, they weren't passing it forward. They were passing it side to side, which wasn't going to do anything for them, bar slow the tempo of the game to kind of regroup and gather themselves. And then Arsenal score their second goal. And City sort of have to start it all over again. But Arsenal have been faster. They've been more intense. They've been defending better. They've been closing down better. They've been attacking better. Donnarumma's been terrible. He's been really poor. Really poor. I'm watching the replay here, guys. I'm watching the replays because I want to see the yellow for Calafiori. Because I thought it was a correct yellow, but Hassan reckons no, it shouldn't have been. So I'm waiting for that replay to come up so I can see it again. And I'm going to turn around and read the chat. The minute I turn around to read the chat, they're going to replay it and then I'm going to miss it. So I'm just trying not to miss it. So I'm not ignoring you. But no, they're just showing the attacks. Cal in the house. Hello, Cal. Cal says, we are finally playing nice football. You're playing really nice football. Really, really nice football. Quite enjoyable football, actually. Which is disgusting. But it's entertaining. It's entertaining. Tony says, City can't be second favourites on this current performance. They're not my second favourites. So we have the predictor show, guys. Thursday, Lou and Kai, season predictions for the table. I'm not going to tell you who I have second, but it's not City. It's not City. I will tell you that much, it's not City, but I won't tell you who it is. Buddy says, Kushinov at right back is getting cooked. City's midfield is running in lead. Yeah, I think Elliot Anderson has not been good. Nico O'Reilly, I genuinely, even though he's at left back, I forgot he was on the pitch for quite some time and he normally moves forward. Phil Foden, more or less anonymous, bar maybe one shot. He got one shot. Other than that, I haven't seen him. Who else is in their midfield? Kovacic. I literally had to read the lineup. I'm not joking. At least Elliot Anderson I don't think is having a good match, but at least I know he's on the pitch. Kovacic, I genuinely didn't know who the third player was. And I wrote this. So, yeah, that's not good. Bruno's been quite quiet for Arsenal in the midfield. He's there, but he's not prominent. He's still finding his feet, I think. But Odegaard has been very good. And as I said, Calafiori is kind of playing left back / midfielder at the minute. He's everywhere. But I definitely think Arsenal have been drastically the better team. Probably more so. I'm looking at the stats here. The stats make the game look a lot closer than it is. Like the stats are saying 6 attempts for Arsenal, 5 for City, 4 on target for Arsenal, 3 on target for City. 4 corners for City, only 2 for Arsenal. I'll be honest, actually watching the game, I don't feel like those stats reflect how much better Arsenal have been than City. Genuinely. In my opinion. Nixie says Donnarumma and Kushinov have been asleep. Random love it. Random says season over for City. Enzo sacked by Christmas. They need to splurge any amount of money on any player to properly back the manager. Sorry, I'm doing a Man United parody. Love it. United Mandem is in the house. Hello to you, who says, big up Blue and the chat, big up to you. If this is how Maresca is setting up, then they are in trouble. They have massive spaces making transitions easy. Arsenal haven't been that good. City are just awful. I agree City are awful. I agree City are making it easier for Arsenal. I agree they're leaving massive spaces. However, I'm not going to take all the credit away from Arsenal. They have been fast. They've been moving the ball fast. They've been progressing the ball forward. They've been positive, moving the ball positively. They've been linking up well. They've been accurate. They've been going down the middle and from the outside. And they've defended really well, considering they don't have Saliba and nobody really knew what that was going to look like. I do agree if City was playing better, it would be harder for Arsenal. They're definitely making it easier. But I disagree that Arsenal have been bad. I think Arsenal have been good, to be fair to them. Buddy says City's midfield is non-existent. Agreed. Hassan says the problem with City this game is that they took too long in regrouping. Under Pep, they would have done it much quicker. I agree, Hassan. After the first goal, it took them a while to reset. Normally under Pep, what you see is, even if they concede, if you couldn't see the scoreboard, you wouldn't know they'd conceded. If I couldn't see the scoreboard in this match, I could still watch it and know that City were the team behind. Do you know what I mean? They looked shook. They looked like a team who'd just gone down a goal. They don't normally. Normally they carry on, they take it in stride and they just keep going. You don't know the difference. They didn't take it in stride today. They were genuinely shell-shocked. Rose says, is Cherki injured? Let's have a little look. Cherki. Nori, Guehi, Rico Lewis, Vitor Hayes, Gonzalez. Ryan Cherki's on the bench. Cherki is on the bench. And we saw Grealish warming up. So I think we might see Grealish in the second half, you know. Buddy says, Semenyo and Doku not tracking back is a massive issue. I feel like Semenyo hasn't been in the game at all. I saw him once near the start of the first half. That was it. I haven't seen him since. Calafiori just has him done. He's guys, I'm giving myself a pat on the back here. Do you know that phrase, self-praise is no praise? I don't believe in that. So Do you remember everybody kept saying to me that, you know, City's not going to drop off that much. I'm exaggerating. Not all of you guys, but some people. But on Footy Judge Mo, when I said I just don't see City, like there is a natural drop off when you lose a Pep and a Silva and then maybe a Rodri, there's a drop off. And people are like, no, it's not going to be that bad. You know, the club wasn't built around Pep. It's just a freestanding club, any manager, because plug and play. And I was like, no, when you lose a manager, it matters. When you lose a manager, it matters. Now, they may fix this quickly. They may address the problems quickly. They might improve faster. There is a natural drop-off and you can't just pretend there isn't. It's not because people are out to get City. It's because the facts are the facts. When you lose your leaders, there's a drop-off. Like, it's just the way it is. It's the facts of life, people. No Rodri, no party, says Budgie. But that's the thing. Like, Rodri and Silva, they've lost their midfield. Their midfield is gone. It doesn't exist anymore. Their midfield is now Anderson. Sticking to my opinion, overrated. Kovacic, who I did not know was on the pitch. I had to literally check the lineup. And O'Reilly normally, while he's at left back, see the way Calafiori's playing. He's at left back, but he's in midfield, left back, midfield. Nico O'Reilly normally plays quite similar to that. He's at left back, but he gets forward and he actually helps out in the midfield and moves it forward. He's not been doing that at all today, Nico O'Reilly. So while he's not in the midfield, he normally provides extra support to the midfield. But because Madueke is getting, Madueke is getting up and down that wing so much, he can't afford to not be in position, like what Luke Shaw did yesterday. So he's having to stick to his position, meaning he's not able to move up into the midfield like he normally does to add an extra supplement, which means they're also short kind of an extra that they normally have in there as well. That might be tactical, because maybe it was Pep getting him to go forward like that, and maybe Maresca has said don't. Maybe it's the recognition that if he's caught out of position, that Madueke is straight down that side. It's hard to know. But for me, I feel vindicated. As I said, it might change. They might improve it drastically. They might do a lot of things. But for me, I feel vindicated. Because what I said would happen is happening. First match. There it is. So, I'm a genius. Just call me if you want the lot of numbers. Damien has joined us. Hello to Damien. Let me see. Hassan says, Jack in the 10 ahead of Turkey. Maresca does like to experiment, I guess. Well, we were talking about Doku at the time. When we saw Grealish warming up. So he might make more than one change. It'll be interesting if there's going to be half-time changes. Hold on. Oh. It's getting a little warm in here. Buddy says Semenyo should be tracking Calafiori. Semenyo's struggling with Calafiori. He's really struggling with Calafiori. He's only tried to go up against him once, and he's not tracking him at all. Calafiori is the run of the place. He's able to go wherever he wants. Nate says, talk on the fact that they're playing Noddy. Nonny Madueke. Nonny. And not Saka or Diamond. Imagine the score if we had a real winger. Oh, Jack Grealish is coming on. Hold on. I see Grealish. Let me turn my sound back on, guys. I've muted it. Grealish is coming on. I'm assuming it's going to be for Doku. I will come back to that, Nate. Bear with me. I just want to hear who he's coming on for. I can only assume it's for Doku. But I just want to be sure. They're not telling me. They're refusing to tell me. Grealish is coming on. They're refusing to tell me for who. I can only assume Doku. I can only assume, but I mean, never assume. Rice is coming on, by the way, for Arsenal. I can see the players coming on because they're standing in front of me. I can't see who's coming off because they won't tell me and I don't know your players' numbers. So they've held up a board, but I don't know who that number is. So we'll have to wait and see, guys. It's a surprise. So Grealish and Declan Rice are definitely coming on. No idea. Rice for Bruno, says Buddy. Well, that makes sense. Bruno was struggling. Bruno was struggling to get into the match. Could have been 3-0. If Bruno had sent cut that ball back before the second goal when it was still 1-0, if Bruno had cut that ball back instead of waiting and then cutting it back, you actually could be 3-0 up. So Bruno was really struggling, I found, to get a foothold in the game. So Rice on for Bruno makes sense for me. Who is Grealish on for? Because I actually think I can... Yeah, he's over there on the left, isn't he? I can't see. My eyes are bad. It is for Doku, Buddy. It is for Doku. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Buddy for getting those in the chat for me. I appreciate that because they just didn't tell me. They put up the numbers, but if I don't know who the bloody numbers are, that's no good to me. Give me the names. Right, I think that improves both. I think Rice for Bruno improves Arsenal because he was struggling to get into the game. And I think Grealish for Doku is an improvement because Doku was trying to get forward and not getting forward, personally. In terms of what Nate said, if Saka or Diamond were on the pitch, it could be even more goals, potentially. But I'll be honest with you, I think Madueke's had a very good game. I think he's been up and down the line. I think he's been getting the ball in. I think he's been involved in a lot of your build-up play. I think that he is part of the reason that Nico O'Reilly has not been coming out of left-back into the midfield for you, or for City. I actually think Madueke has been very effective in this match. I know he's kind of gets mixed reviews from Arsenal fans. I understand that completely. Bruno has an ice pack cling filmed to the inside of his thigh. Bruno G, who's been subbed off at half-time, has an ice pack cling filmed to the inside of his thigh. Not to panic any City fans. Just letting you know. But yeah, I definitely think you could have had 3 or 4 in the first half, Arsenal. Definitely the better team. And maybe you would have done more with Saka or Max Diamond on the pitch. But I think Madueke's been very effective in this match. Nani can't beat anyone. Well, he's beaten Nico O'Reilly a couple of times in this match. I wouldn't normally say that because I don't normally think he is good for you. But in this match, he has been, to be fair. Zolis is going forward. He's got it in. Oh, the guard! He's slotted it in! It's 3-0! It's 3-0! Martin Odegaard! Oh, Martin Odegaard has just made it 3-0. Zolis, brilliant. Can I just say, the ball in from Zolis, excellent. Excellent ball from Zolis. Very, very, very well done by Odegaard. Not to panic, not to freak out. He calmly got the ball, calmly got it out from under his feet, calmly got the shot off and put it in the back of the net. Donnarumma is having an absolute mare. Nobody tell me he's the best goalkeeper in the world. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. 3-0. Early in the first half, early in the second half, Donnarumma's losing the plot. Kai Havertz looks like he's in disbelief as well. Haaland looks like he wants to laugh. Oh dear. Oh dear, people, what is happening to Manchester City? It's terrible. The timer, Flossie, I forgot the timer. Oh dear. Sorry, I was having too much fun. Right, let me get the timer right for you. Sorry, folks. Let me get the timer sorted. Get it together, woman. Get it together. Okay. Okay, we got it. We got it. Thank you, Flossie, because I wouldn't have noticed that until way towards the end of the match. Sorry. I'm not necessarily enjoying that Arsenal are winning. I am slightly enjoying the City are losing, though. I know I'm hiding it really well. You probably can't tell. And if DJ Milkshake is around, I apologise because you're actually a nice City fan. But I am enjoying this. I needed this after yesterday. My heart and soul needed this City performance after yesterday. Oh, it's cheered me right up. Right, let me see. What else are you guys saying? Let me see. Yeah, huge. The Zolis, 2 assists. Guys, can I just say, because we've spent a lot of the time in this summer looking at links in Europe. We looked at Manzambi, we looked at Munoz, we looked at Zolis, we looked at all of the guys that have come in for Newcastle. We've looked at the ones that look good, that look bad on paper. When we looked at Zolis, his numbers were sensational. We said he was a great signing for Arsenal. And so far, he has proven to be a great signing for Arsenal. He was not a glamorous name. He was not 100 million signing. He was not Premier League proven. He was scouted for a good price from Europe. You do not have to pay 100 million for a Premier League proven player for them to be good. Zolis is an excellent example of that. So, Nate says, what is the biggest loss in a Community Shield? Just asking. Let's check. I don't know, actually, to be fair. I've genuinely no idea. Ray Ray says, this is only a friendly, Lou. Ray Ray, I can tell you're late. I can tell you've only just joined the stream halfway through because I was asked at the start of this match, live, did I think that this was a trophy or not? And I said, yes, I absolutely think it's a trophy. I said, whoever wins it deserves it. And I said, I count it. So you're bantering the wrong person because I have said live before Arsenal were winning or before Arsenal looked like doing this, that I absolutely counted it. So, wrong chat, wrong channel, wrong person. Not here. Banter the people that said that, not the people that didn't. I always give credit where it's due. I'll tell you I don't like it very much, but I'll always tell you. A trophy, it's a minor trophy. Minor, definitely. It's not like it's on par with the Premier League, but it is a trophy. And you've been drastically the better team. And I'm thoroughly enjoying Manchester City's performance. It's really made me happy. The narrative elsewhere. Do you know what I do, Ray Ray? And I mean, I'm being serious here. I find myself watching less and less other content, or if I watch the content, I don't go in the chats. Because I find on a lot of channels, and I'm not blaming the channels, it's just the internet. I find on a lot of thank you, Flossie, I never did get to look it up. Flossie on the ball. 2 more substitutes. Haaland off for Marmouche. O'Reilly off for Guehi. Fairs, Haaland hasn't really been in the game. Grealish is coming as well. O'Reilly's struggled, he's going off. So they're good. I agree with those subs for Man City. Correct thing to do. Is Grealish coming or not? Not yet. Or no, sure, he's already on. Let me see. Let me come back. Huge says, I'm loving this Anderson shocker. Reap what you sow. We said he was overrated. We said he was overpriced. He's proven it. Thank you very much. Let us take a bow. Nate says Arteta is on his way to win his 5th trophy in 6 years. The GOAT. I don't know what to call him the GOAT now. Let's calm down. He's not in the GOAT talk yet. He's doing quite well. He's not in the GOAT talk. Take a breath. It's a good match. It is a real trophy. It's all coming off roses. Let's just slow down on the GOAT talk, right? Let's just take a breath. Let me say, does this game change your opinion on if City can beat Arsenal in the Premier League this year? Or is it just one game and don't think too much about it? I think you have to think about it. I wouldn't decide the league on it. There's 2 players down, by the way. I think one of them's Elliot Anderson. Grealish is trying to attack. No support from his teammates. Elliot Anderson was busy rolling round the ground, stands back up and appears to foul Odegaard immediately. Anderson's having a stinker! Elliot Anderson is having a stinker. Shem wants to know, are the City fans chanting Pep's name yet? Not yet. Oh, okay. Sorry. Miles Lewis-Skelly did stand on his ankle. Right. Fair. That hurt. I'll give him that one. I will give him that. He did have his ankle stood on. But going back to the question from Random, Roz. My God, why do you all have our names? We need to change the names in here. From Roz. I don't think it's like a season-deciding game. They've won this, therefore they're going to win the league. I think they were the favourites anyway. I also don't think one game undoes City's season. I said they were going to fall off anyway. I think what it does is it gives you an indicator of where they're starting from. That's what I think it does. It gives you a barometer of where they're at and how much work they have to do. I do think it impacts the season. And I do think people might think now Arsenal have more of a chance to beat City in season. But I wouldn't give it too much importance either. I think it's in the middle. I don't think you can discount it or it doesn't matter. But I also don't think it's like madness. Do you know? I think it's somewhere in the middle. Huge says, this game has value because we don't know what an Enzo City looks like. Does Enzo Fernandez suddenly become more attractive to Manchester City after this match? Great point from Huge. Great point. Flossie with the like check. Have you hit the like button? Beautiful people. Please do smash the like button. We have a competitive match and we've goals. We're loving it. We are loving it. City are actually attacking, which is sensational for them. They've not done much of that in the match so far. But Arsenal are defending. Zolis is back there defending. They're all helping out. Crowder doing ole, says Nate. Random says, it's like when you play a fruit machine, then you get on the board and the bank some cash, a cheeky repeat, win pops up. That's the Community Shield. I've read Shens. Hassan says, Lou, you're a United fan through and through. Like my brother, City's misery is sweeter. Do you know what? I love all the rivals' misery. I'll be honest, I do. For me, though, and I said this in the World Cup, so when it was nothing to do with my club, when it was nothing to do with my team, this is how I personally enjoy football. I want to be entertained. I want goals. I want fast play. I want attacking football. I want forward thinking. That is the football that I enjoy. That is what entertains me personally, regardless of the teams involved. Some people, some of you guys like the tactical, slow build, mental chess football. I find that so boring. So Arsenal today have played faster, more attacking, more exciting football. They've provided me goals and entertainment. Therefore, they deserve to win. City tried to grab the ball, slow it down, make it boring. They deserve to lose. And I'm delighted for Elliot Anderson because I'm petty. Let me see. But yes, Ray Ray, I agree with you. Coming back to you, we got distracted from your comment entirely. We were sidetracked. But I'm coming back to you, Ray Ray. Yeah, I do see that kind of narrative online. It's just a friendly, etc., etc. If, and I said this at the start, if this was like two B-side, half kids, pre-season friendly type lineups, I'd be like, doesn't really matter. But it's not. It's a competitive game with competitive lineups. I see Turkey. Who's the blonde? Foden's coming off. Probably a good idea. Honestly, he's been anonymous. Anderson coming off. He's been terrible. Good decisions all around. Rico Lewis is the blonde. Rico Lewis and Ryan Cherki on. This City could start to improve here. Is Calafiori coming off? I think Calafiori's coming off. He's been sensational. He has been man of the match by a country mile. Saka is on. Sorry, guys. Calafiori, Madueke off. Saka and Hincapié on. 30 minutes to go. Anything could happen. Ollie's not a fan of Saka's hair. I like the braids. I think they suit him. I quite like the braids. They're quite tidy looking. The blonde, yeah, is a bit of a throwback. The blonde's a bit of a throwback. Ollie reckons it doesn't suit him. I don't know, I like them. The blonde is very, like, early 2000s, so on Rico Lewis. But that's a lot of changes now for City. So Haaland is gone. Doku's gone. Foden's gone. Anderson's gone. O'Reilly's gone. Like, half their starting lineup's gone. I'd say they're sorry they can't sub out Donnarumma. He's been brutal. He's been the worst player on the pitch today. He's been terrible. Elliot Anderson's been terrible. Doku, A for effort. F for, like, actual product. Kovacic, I still just was not aware was on the pitch. There's been a lot of poor individual performances today as well as team performances. Hassan says, Cherki and Grealish on the same pitch. I have a feeling some chaos might ensue. Let's see who benefits. We love chaos. We love chaos. We've had the goals, now give us the chaos. Oh, you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. Huge says, Semenyo has been bad too. I agree. Semenyo's not been in the game. Calafiori has absolutely nullified, completely nullified Semenyo. What I'm curious about is now that Calafiori's off, will that change? Ray says Maresca City has no aura. I agree. They don't have that. And I don't think it's just down to Maresca. Pep had aura. Rodri has aura. Silva, much as I really wanted to hypothetically, not in real life, punch him in the face sometimes, had that aura. You've lost 3. People just don't recognise the importance of that. Saka, he's in. He's kicked the side of the net. Why didn't he give that to somebody? If Saka lays that off to somebody else, Arsenal have another one, and he was just really selfish there. There was no need for that selfishness. Odegaard's looking good. He's looked better today than I saw him in the whole of last season. Saka did so well to get round. Look! Who's 29? Is that Kai Havertz? He was on the penalty spot, loads of space, nobody near him, not marked, and Saka put it in the side net and instead of giving him the ball. You could be on 4 there. That was greedy. Nate says Saka beats his man immediately. Madueke has been beaten, getting the better of players throughout the game. Come on now, give him credit where it's due. You don't have to like him overall. But give him credit where he's due. He's had a good match. He was taking on his man, and he got round his man a number of times. Let's be fair now. Havertz has won the ball. He's trying to hold it up, but he got shoved over. Hassan says, I think Kovacic has been all right, actually. It's just Anderson and both wingers have been not great. I don't know. Sometimes, and what I will concede is sometimes a quiet midfielder is quiet because they're working really hard. So I saw a lot of Anderson, but everything I saw was bad. Do you know what I mean? Because I was seeing him didn't mean he was good. So sometimes, like, and I'll relate it to United, sometimes Casemiro would feel quiet in a game. But he felt quiet because what he was doing was everybody else's job at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So I will give you that for Kovacic. I haven't noticed it, but he might be just working away there, trying to cover everybody else's mistakes. Absolutely, possibly. Nate says because Martin Odegaard isn't injured. Tony says Odegaard has been man of the match. I personally would give it to Calafiori, but I do think Martin Odegaard's had a very, very good match. Yeah, I agree. He'd probably be my second choice. I agree with that. He's been very good. JP, is Connor Ben playing for City? Hassan says the problem with Noni is he has one decent one game and then for a month poor. So his ratio of good to bad games is not great. For every one good one, you get a lot of bad ones. That's fair. Because I'm speaking, and I do mean genuinely, this game only. Not across the board, not what he's like as a player, not what he's like in your squad. This singular game. That's all I mean. Huge says City look unbalanced. I thought Grealish would add something for them when he come on. I don't know if I've seen him get on the ball yet. Now, to be fair, that might be because I'm reading all your comments, but I haven't seen him get on the ball yet. Turkey's trying to at least win the ball. Turkey is the first City player in this match that I have seen press Arsenal at all. He is the first player. We are in the 65th minute. Turkey is the first Manchester City player I have seen press Arsenal. That is despicable. Grealish thinking, get me back to Everton. I think he'd love to go back to Everton. David Moyes loves him. David Moyes absolutely loves Jack Grealish. So I would say Jack Grealish would be more than happy to go back to Everton, where he's the big fish. I think he would be quite happy to go back to Everton. Buddy says, City playing slot ball, 1,000 touches, then give it away. Oh dear. It's joy. It is joy. Yeah, Flossie says Grealish looked happy at Everton. He did. He looked like he loved it. And I think when you're happy, that's what brings the best out of you. When you're in an environment that makes you happy, you flourish. You get the best. You get more out of yourself. Ray says, Anderson might not be able to solo the midfield like Rodri did. I can tell you factually he can't. I watched him last season. I watched Nottingham Forest games last season. He absolutely can't. He cannot. Definitely. I can tell you that factually. I don't just think he's overrated because I've just decided. I've watched him. I think he's a decent player. I don't even think I would rate him as very good, let alone brilliant. I'm genuinely so happy we did not get him. Really and truly I am. People have overhyped him because he's a price, because it became glamorous. Not for me. Huge says, Anderson doesn't give you control. No, he doesn't. And that's what we needed. And that's what City needed. And it's not what he gives. It's not what he gives. Put it this way, if I'm talking about because everybody signed Newcastle players, to me, Anderson is more of a Tonali than a Bruno. And what we needed was a Bruno. G. That's how I feel. I read that from Rere. Huge says, no press, no triangles, and no possession high on the pitch. They look terrible. They really do. Do we think this propels them to go and sign Enzo, even though the deadline has passed? Do we think this propels them to sign Enzo? JP says, Bournemouth thinking easy 3 points next week. I mean, there might be. Bournemouth are going to be a little bit unknown next season because they've retained all of their players. Like, Alex Scott is staying. They've retained all of their players, but they've lost their manager. And I don't know much about their new manager coming in. Like, I've not watched him manage. They could be an interesting package next season. Huge, we did get that in Santos. We did get that in Santos. I am so in love with Santos as a signing. He's exactly what we needed. I could not agree more, Huge. Exactly what we needed for less than half the price. We just need another one because he can't play all the games. But yeah, I agree. Flossie says, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Maresca likes him. Maresca does like him. And he likes Maresca. Wes. Man City chose the wrong Pep assistant to hire. I do have to caveat, guys. It is just one game. It's a good game. It's an important game. It backs up what I've been saying all summer. But it is one game. We just have to breathe for a minute. It's so enjoyable, though. Tony says, they seriously want to beg Rodri to stay another season. Well, Mr. DJ Milkshake, our City fan, that comes in our chat, really nice City fan actually, very level-headed, and says he's told us his hot take from over a week ago was that Rodri wouldn't leave, that City would keep Rodri for another season. If Barcelona don't massively up their offer, he might be right. And we might see a whole different City. Tony is saying they look like they can't afford to lose Rodri. They are. The game is settled a little bit now. The tempo's slowed a little bit. Arsenal are still going forward, but obviously they're 3-0 up. They don't need to kill themselves or get injured. Do you know what I mean? City are trying, similar to the first half. They're trying, but they're not really getting anywhere. Zolis with the ball to Saka. It was a difficult ball. Donnarumma comes out and pushes it away. That was a difficult ball for Saka, to be fair. Wes says City need an extra charge to keep him. Jack Grealish. He can't get down there. Oh, he's got it through. He's not got it through. Jack Grealish is trying to be positive on the ball. His teammates, however, are not helping him out. He's tried to make a couple of runs. He's tried to get the ball through a few times. And he just keeps getting swarmed by Arsenal players because there's no City players there backing him up at all. Not even a little bit. Flossie says City look awful. They really do. They really, really do. I'm spoiled now. I want another goal. We've already had 3. It's been a very good match. But I'm like, oh, another 20 minutes without a goal. Come on, lads. Get one. I have to be honest. Their midfield has been very, very concerning. Very concerning. However, I actually think Donnarumma has been the biggest problem. Like, their midfield has been terrible. Totally agree. Donnarumma's been woeful. Really bad. At least 2 out of the 3 goals he could have done better on, and they might have still gone in, but he could have made a better attempt at saving them. And he looked away off it. Ray says our bench was amazing today. Yeah, your first team is very good, but so is your depth. I agree. That was one of the things I said at the start of the transfer window when there was not much stories about Arsenal. I said, well, that's normal because you're the club, you're the team with the least to do. Essentially, what you're trying to do is just upgrade. So you had the least to do because you've already got a good starting 11 and depth. Huge says City look like they need to add some more changes to get close to Arsenal. I agree. A lot more, I would say. More than maybe I realised. There is some substitutes here. It looks like Gyökeres is coming on for Havertz. Hassan. I was just thinking that. I'm gonna come to that in a minute. So Havertz for Gyökeres. Miles Lewis-Skelly is coming off as well for Zubimendi. Hassan said, selling James Trafford was a mistake that will haunt Man City in the future. I agree. Because I think not only has Donnarumma had an absolute mare today, James Trafford for Leeds has been sensational. He's been excellent. Really, really excellent. Some of the saves he has made in pre-season have been unreal. I think it's going to be a major regret. Major regret. I agree, Hassan. Completely. City went with the name. They went with Donnarumma the name. Because it's star. It's a star power. It's glamorous. Rather than who was better. That's what they've done. And I agree. I think it's a mistake. Buddy says wait till Bezos takes over. Nate says we haven't scored a set piece. Crisis at Arsenal. Oh, that's a giggle. Oh, that is a giggle. Nate, come on now. You've behaved pretty well so far. Don't come in the wind up now, because then we'll fall out. You've behaved pretty well. I've been incredibly fair to your team for a rival fan. Don't push it too far, because then we'll fall out. And believe me, you don't want to fall out with me. It's not pleasant. Damien says the warning signs were there for City regarding Donnarumma. They were. But some teams are more obsessed with buying big money signings with glamorous aura signings, and then they don't get what the talent is. Believe me, I am so glad we got Santos instead of Elliot Anderson. One of them was a cheap poor option signing and one of them was a glamorous 100 million signing, look who's better. Sorry, money doesn't mean good. I don't know how many times I have to say this for people in the crowd. Big money doesn't mean good. Spending a fortune doesn't mean good. It means you're silly. It means you can't find more talent. It means you're lazy. You don't want to do scouting. It doesn't mean they're going to be really good. Another substitute for Manchester City. Has anybody that started this match stayed on the pitch? Kovacic off for Nico G. Is Semenyo the only starting player still on the pitch other than Donnarumma? I feel like they've changed the whole 11. Oh dear. Yeah, Liverpool, buying Isak, Wirtz. If they pay for Barcola, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. I think Barcola is overpriced. I think it's a better idea for Liverpool to walk away from Barcola and just pay good, honest money for a good, honest player. That's what I think. Saka sent it over the bar. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, close says huge. It was over the bar, but not by a huge amount. Ray wants 4. Overpriced like Morgan Rogers. I don't mind Morgan Rogers. That one I don't mind. Because I think Morgan Rogers, big save there from Raya. He had to go down fast there. Semenyo gets the shot off. That was a good save by Raya. The difference between the two keepers in this match has been night and day. Night and day. Sorry, guys. Bear with me a minute. Gvardiol is still on. Gvardiol's still on. Okay. I think he's been the best City player this match, and that's saying something. Yeah, I think he's been decent, actually. There's not much competition, to be fair. Not much competition at all. It was a very good save. Huge says a good save by Raya. It was a very good save by Raya. I agree. W17 says, Turkey is so world class. Foden doesn't need to start. I thought Foden was not very good today. And I think Turkey, at the very least, is trying to press, which is more than most of the players did for most of the match, to be honest. Nate says, how Raya doesn't play for Spain is madness. I don't judge any football player on their looks, Nate. I, in here, want people to judge me on my content. I don't want anybody to be discussing my looks, because I think it's not anyone's, I think it's disrespectful. So I will never be judging a player on their looks. If I'm speaking about a player, I'm speaking about how they play. I judge a footballer on their football. I expect my content, or me as a content creator, to be judged on my content. Odegaard is going off here, guys. Eze is coming on. Nate says, I think it's quite indicating that Martinelli hasn't come on. Goodbye, legend. We'll miss you. There's been a few of those. People are saying, does that matter? Do you know, if they're not being put on during these matches? I think it's starting to. You don't want to get them injured this late. W17 says, personally, if I was the City manager, I would just park the bus and use Haaland for the counter. City just don't feel dangerous. I'm watching them here trying to build up. I'm watching them trying to get an attack together. They just don't seem sharp. They just don't seem sharp. They seem a little loose, is the only way I can describe it. What about players' hair? As in, like, because of the hair pulling and that kind of a thing. I think, and I said this last season, if players should be able to wear their hair whatever way they want, right? It's their hair, they're grown adults. However, I believe they then also have to acknowledge that they are responsible for said hair. So if you've got long hair and it's free flowing, you are aware that there's more of a possibility that your hair might be caught accidentally. You can't then go running about the place crying if your hair gets caught. Unless somebody literally grabs it and yanks it and it's obviously on purpose. I don't think you should regulate people's hair, grown adults, but I do think that there should be an understanding that, look, it's more possible when someone has longer hair for it to get caught accidentally. Do you know, that sort of a way? Danny in the house to hit the like button. Thank you very much to Danny. Much appreciated. W17 says, I think Maresca needs this season to at least settle in. We can't expect him to walk in smoothly. Even Pep finished 4th in his first season. I don't expect him to come in smoothly. That was my point all summer. I have said there will be a natural drop-off. And I was told no, that City is such a well-oiled machine. The structure is so good. The players are so good. Haaland is such a goal machine that it won't matter and they're going to be fine. And they might even still win the league. Maybe that happens. We don't know. We can't see into the future. But I think it's completely natural for there to be a drop-off. I agree. 100% agree. I think it's completely natural. Grealish has got it. He's kicked it directly at Ben White. He's got it back, but Saka's on him. Huge says, I hope City finish outside the Champions League spots and Haaland leaves and then the charges hit. Marmoush's got the ball, but he's all on his own. Cleared out by Gabriel. Rose says you can't go from the second greatest coach in the Premier League history to anyone else and not have a drop-off. Agree. Again, I agree. Damien says, City think it's easy plug and play for this team. I don't know. I've seen more rival fans. Now, I don't be around a lot of City fans, so maybe they are. But I've seen a lot of rival fans saying, no, they won't drop off. Like, I've had other United fans tell me, no, they're going to be fine. Do you know what I mean? I think City fans might be a little more nervous than some of them are making out. Nate has him third after Fergie and Wenger. I'm not getting into the whole debate. Use natter away. But I'm not getting into the who's better than who debate. So you two, natter away. W17 says, I mean, let's not judge them with their first game in months. Well, no, that I disagree with. People are perfectly entitled to have an opinion as and when they see fit. So if you don't want to form an opinion, that's totally fine. But, like, the point of the channel is to discuss football opinions. So if we don't discuss the football, there's kind of no point in the channel. Nobody's saying they're done and dusted. They're going to, like, be relegated. Do you know what I mean? But people are perfectly entitled to form an opinion based on what they're seeing right now. The same way as they're entitled to update or change that opinion as games go on and as we see new things. But the entire point of a fan channel is to discuss the football together, what we think's going on, what we think's needed, where we think things are as they stand. That is kind of the point of the channel. So if we don't do that, I'm out of a job. Tony says, I think if they lose Rodri, they should worry. Seen them play like this before, but not with Rodri. Well, when Rodri was injured, wasn't it when Rodri was injured, they were in a really, like, not good way? Marmoush is down here. He looked like he fell really awkwardly there. I think he has, I don't know if he's winded himself or if he's hurt himself. He looked like he fell really funny. He looks in genuine discomfort here. He's tried to get back up and he's had to bend over again. Jack Grealish is about to take a free kick. But I'll be honest, he doesn't look right. He does not look right. He's still bent over. And he did fall really funny. He's sort of hobbling there in the background. He's not okay. He is not okay. Somebody needs to intervene there. Guys, can everybody see that? He's doubled over still. Look at the way he's moving there. He's bent over again. City are on the attack. The game needs to be stopped. He needs medical attention because he is not okay. And they're just ignoring it. The game is over. It's ended 3-0 to Arsenal. Happy bloody days for Arsenal. I think we might get news after this match. I think but before tomorrow morning, we're going to get news that he's injured because that looked sore. He looked so uncomfortable. Thank you very much to Mama Flossie, who sent us the giggling fox. The laughing foxy from Mama Flossie. So thank you very much to Mama Flossie for that. Congratulations to the Arsenal fans, the Arsenal teacups. You've got your first trophy of the season. You've got off to the season in a really good way. You look really positive, put together. You look ready and fresh and attacking. City have a lot to do. City have a lot to do. But thank you all so very much for joining me. It's been very enjoyable, really entertaining match. I really did enjoy watching it. So thank you for your company, your opinions, your thoughts, your comments. Much appreciated. I will be back tomorrow, 12 o'clock. We're not going to have an evening stream this evening, guys, because I've already done the lunchtime stream. We've done the watch along today. It was, for anyone that's asking who looks sore, it was Marmouche that went down. For the free kick that Grealish took, it was Marmouche that went down for that. He got up from that. It was a City player. Sorry, I'm probably panicking you. It wasn't an Arsenal player, it was a City player. I think it was Marmouche. But thank you all so much, guys. Hopefully, I will see you all